This is a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or any placement in your chart where Aquarius feels most prominent. Listen, I'm going to start this off with a very clear disclaimer. You may not love this reading. Not all of my readings are super sunshine rainbows. I know you're going to want me to say everything is going to be amazing. I wish it was. And it will eventually, a little bit later down the line. But right now, let's break down this energy. For some of you, and by the way, this is not everybody's reading, so if it does not resonate with you, don't take it. But for some of you, either you or an Aquarius in your energy, maybe you're cross-watching and you're watching for another Aquarius, but some of you dealt with a situation that ended very badly. Somebody was not faithful. Somebody somebody could have really toyed with your emotions and with your time. You could have even been married to this person. This could have been somebody who you went back and forth with. Maybe you kept going back to them after, this could be somebody that you have a history of returning to. If not that, this could just be somebody that really has a pretty big ego, to say the least. This is somebody that you managed to escape from. Let's just put it that way. You got unbound from whatever this situation was. It was very painful. It feels like it ended very badly. And right now, I feel like the energy for whoever the feminine watching is, if you resonate as a female, I almost said Scorpio. Maybe you have Scorpio in your chart, or maybe the Scorpio reading will resonate with you. Aquarius, if you feel like this is you, there's some energy right now. The present energy is even though it sucked, that relationship sucked, you might not be. It's if this is you, it's somebody is just not happy being single, or it's you don't like your ex, but you don't like your other options, and you feel like there's the other options are not good either, and maybe you're in this mood where you're you might just be in a mood. Let's put it that way. You might be in a mood, Aquarius, if this is you. If you're an Aquarius masculine watching for a feminine, she's in a mood. She's not, it's there's something where somebody is single and doesn't necessarily want to be. She also just might not have chemistry with anybody that she's connected with so far. This is somebody who maybe tried dating and is not liking what she's finding, and right now the energy kind of feels well, maybe I should go back to the devil I know, which is not necessarily an Aquarius vibe. So again, if that does not resonate with you, if you're no, I'm never going to go back to him, you're wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. You're never going to go back to him. But there's somebody in this energy that I shuffled for that might be kind of in the mood to re-explore somebody that they have some weird shitty past with. And again, that past does seem to indicate maybe you guys have made had a history of making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up. You might be considering making up again. This is maybe what you're thinking about. It's somebody might be thinking about reinvesting into somebody that they feel leaves them high and dry, puts them in a bad mood. It already ended, but also I don't know, there's a million reasons why you might, maybe the sex is really good. Maybe he's a Scorpio. There's Scorpio energy coming up. I almost said the word Scorpio earlier, so I felt called to say it. Maybe you should watch the Scorpio reading that I posted a couple of days ago. It's there's something about that coming through. Your future energy is, it is possible you might reunite. I feel this could be another, especially if you have kids and it's just natural where you have to see him anyway. It's if it's one of those situations where it's you're dating, but you don't like anybody that you date, and then you keep seeing your child's father, and then it's just like, ah, whatever, let's just sleep together. Something like that might happen where you might kind of go back into another cycle. That's not for everybody. I do see you being much more clear with your boundaries and having more power this time around. Like, I do see you, like, if you choose to do that, I do see you being very, like, strict and, like, holding, the reins and not, like, but it is also, like, it will still give you a level of anxiety. You have to know that. Like, the Two of Cups reversed off camera is being clarified by the Nine of Swords. Like, it is something that you will eventually let go. But I feel like, especially if you have kids, even if you don't have kids, if you have a history together, if you've known each other for a long time, you have a lot of good memories, maybe every now and then you get back together again, or you hang out and then you have a couple of glasses of something, and then you're like, oh my god, remember that time we did this? And then all of a sudden you don't hate each other, and then all of a sudden you're having sex, or whatever. So, it's like no judgment. Sometimes that happens. Something like that might happen again. And I feel like, again, it's like if there are kids involved, it might just be like kind of a pattern that happens. Um, and also it's like you might both be kind of experiencing this thing where you're both attempting to date and you don't like other options. So it's like whether you have kids or not, whether you've been like together for a long time or not, it just feels like there's some energy of like, I don't like the dating market. This is too hard. Like, at least I know what this person is like. Yes, he's an asshole, but like, whatever. So, regardless, there is some new start coming more towards the end of the year. You might end up meeting somebody better, or maybe even if it's this relationship that you rekindle, potentially, like, maybe it gets better towards, I'm seeing December, and I'm also seeing, April at the bottom of the deck. So, a few ways to translate that is maybe you meet somebody around December and then by April you're like serious, like you're more serious with that person. For example, like you might meet somebody and you connect and you take it slow, or you just or you might like hit it off with somebody towards the end of the year, and then by April you guys are like an official couple. That's one translation. And I know that, again, maybe you're like, I don't want to wait till December. Girl, I know, I don't either. But, an alternative translation could be like, maybe by December, things take a turn for the better in this relationship. Again, I know what Aquarians are like. I can like already feel you being like, bitch, I am not going back to him. Okay. Maybe you're not. But for those of you who are considering it, and for those of you who are like, well, maybe like if I just sleep with him and not actually deal with him on any other level, maybe it like works out in a better way around like closer towards the end of the year, things might mend in a more significant way, and then things take a more positive turn, you have a new start. Regardless, I do see your love life getting better towards the end of the year, and then especially by spring of next year. I know that's not what you want to hear. I know you're like, I want it to get better today. So do I. I was gonna say, I think I have Aquarius in my chart. Who knows? But I do think that um, everything you're feeling right now is valid. Try not to judge yourself too harshly. Try not to be too hard on yourself. Try to be very gentle with yourself. I do see a lot of frustration in this energy. So if you do feel like that does resonate, like just know that it is temporary, but it might feel like way longer. Like you might feel like I'm trying to guide you through this as best as I can. Like it is temporary, but this version of temporary might feel like way too effing long. Like you're gonna be like, this is the longest temporary ever. I hate this. Um, so if you can mentally prepare for that, and if that is something you're going through, just know it's not forever. it might feel like forever and you might not love it, and you might also backpedal into a relationship that you know is not necessarily good for you, not necessarily going to work out in the long run. Again, try not to judge yourself for it. Try not to be too hard on yourself. Sometimes we fall back into cycles because we are meant to learn lessons that we didn't learn the first time or that we didn't pass the first time. Sometimes we just force ourselves to relearn the same lessons. And for some of you, if you've listened this far and you still don't resonate, like, I'm so glad that this is not your story. Maybe you're like, this is not me at all. In which case, super congrats on that. Maybe another sign in your chart is more prominent, because there are other readings that are not like this at all, but I did Gemini and Aquarius today, and both of them were kind of like similar vibes, like not the best news in the world, which I hate when that's the news, but you know, I always say I'd rather you hate me today and trust me tomorrow, because at least you know that I'm not trying to bullshit you and I'm not trying to just paint a pretty happy, beautiful picture of something that may not be like the biggest reality ever. And maybe this is not your story either. Again, take what resonates, leave what does not. If you do resonate with this or you like this content, feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of the things, and you can always book a personal reading at lunarprophet.com. But until next time, good luck, Aquarius.